Hi friends, welcome back to week 10, cycle 3 of Classical Conversations. And these are some of the things I did as a tutor this week that hopefully will help you. So to start, we did math. And for math, the song is She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. We used the song from CC. You can find it in the app or on the website. And so it just goes, and it's for the squares. And so it's just 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169, 196, 225. And what we did is I actually got this paper from a shop on Etsy, and I will post the link below. And we would have the kids kind of take I had little, oh my gosh, little erasers, and they just kind of went around and did it. And we did it on all the different kinds. So this has multiple options. So first we just did the numbers, 1, 4, 9, and then we did the multiplication so that they could see it. We did the numbers again. And so it just gave us multiple options. So this was a really cool thing. And then I let the parents take that home so that they could use that as well. So that was what we did for math this week. For history, it's Tell Me About Manifest Destiny. And so it's President Polk believed that the Mexican War and the Gadsden Purchase in the mid-1800s affirmed America's manifest destiny to spread across the continent. So for President Polk, we just did an ASLP. For Mexican War, we did Mexican, kind of shake, Mexican War. For the Gadsden Purchase, we just kind of almost did like what we did for Louisiana Purchase with money. Mid-1800s, across the Americas, and spread across the continent. So it's Tell Me About Manifest Destiny. President Polk believed that the Mexican War and the Gadsden Purchase in the mid-1800s affirmed America's manifest destiny to spread across the continent. So that's what we did. Now with my class, I like to use these little, I'm going to grab them for you. This little document, I found it on the CCC connected website. And what I did was I took this, and I have a copy of it here, and then I also make a another copy that I print out and I give it to the kids, and then we listen to the song and they have to hold up the part as we get to that part. I have younger kids, and so they're not always singing back with me. They kind of get the jam to it, but they're not always singing the words. And so this is just a good way to kind of practice the parts of the song, getting kind of a little bit starting to do some of the hand motions. And so this is a fun way to do that. Another option, depending on how many kids you have, is they can do a game where you give each of them a card and they have to run and put it in the right spot on the board. So just whatever you guys are in the mood for, or what your class is feeling. I kind of always just gauge it on how my class is doing that day for how we're going to do that. But we typically always hold the card, and then we run down the list, and I'm like, okay, you, and we pick up their card, and they're holding up their card, and they're super excited. And so that's something that's been fun for us. So those are those two. Then we moved on. Oh, and the song is on CC Connected, and it's also on the app. The next we went on to science. And so what are some parts of the respiratory system? And so those are nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, and lungs. And we did this to Joy to the World. So it's, what are some parts of the respiratory system? Nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, and then we have 2 lungs, and then we have 2 lungs. These are some parts of the respiratory system. And so we sang that. We had some fun with that. I also have this cool sheet. It's on CCC Connected, and it's also available on Etsy. And so we would just take these and I'd hand them out, and then the kids would kind of put them on as we sang the part of the piece that they are holding. So they enjoy this. We do a version of this every week with science. And I'll post those links below as well. Then we move on to English. English I've been going back and forth with. I'd eventually like to find a song that I like that plays all of the parts. We've done this as a rap because that is what our essentials students are doing at our campus. But the rap's kind of been going a little bit crazy, so we tried it as a song this week. So I'm going to do both for you guys, and you can make pick what makes the most sense for your campus or your family. So the rap kind of goes like this. To lie, infinitive to lie, present lie, lies, past lay, present participle laying, past participle laying. And the song we did is to Aloha Oi, which is from Moana. It's the lullaby part that they kind of sang together, the sisters. And so it goes like this. To lie, lie, lies, lay, lying, laying. These will never leave your brain. To lie, lie, lies, lay, lying, laying. Because we will sing it again. To lie, lie, lies, lay, lying, laying. These will never leave your brain. To lie, lie, lies, lay, lying, laying. Because we will sing it again. And you can go on and on like that, like the song that never ends, and have a lot of fun with your kids. So to practice this week, I went on to Teachers Pay Teachers, and I found this really cool monkeys on the bed pictures that were free. And so I had a colored version, and I gave all the kids a black and white one that they could stick on their fingers if they wanted to. And I labeled them. These ones aren't labeled. I should have done that beforehand. But I had to lie, lie, lies, lay, lying, laying, laying. And then as I would sing it, they would have to put it on the bed, or they would just move it into a line. They also were able to just put it on their fingers if they wanted to as we sang the song. Again, just something that was fun, and the kids got to take those home again to practice. So everybody got their own, and it was a really fun little way of practicing laid. And we did lay with the monkeys on the bed because of falling asleep and laying down. And so just trying to find a way to connect the words in a way that the kids would really understand it. So that is what we did for English. Moving on to Latin. Latin, we combined 3 weeks together, and we did it to the song Yankee Doodle to also bring in the fact that for Tin Whistle, they're doing Yankee Doodle. So for this week, it's Latin article rules. Latin has no translations for articles a and the. And we have been practicing just singing the same song, the whole song through, because it's only the 3 weeks each week that we've been doing this. So this is how that song goes. It's Latin verbs have different endings called conjugations. Latin has no translations for articles a and the. Latin nouns and pronouns have different endings called conjugations. These are Latin rules. I'm going to sing that again because it's not conjugations, it's declensions. Oh my gosh. We're going to do it one more time, okay? Hey, even the tutors mess up sometimes. It's okay. All right, you ready? Latin verbs have different endings called conjugations. Latin has no translations for articles a and the. Latin nouns and pronouns have different endings called declensions. These are Latin rules. And so that is what we would sing every week. You can try it, especially because we have Tin Whistle going on, singing it louder, piano, and then singing it much more strongly with fortissimo. If you wanted to kind of incorporate some of the vocabulary that they're learning in Tin Whistle, you could also do it going faster, going slower, crescendo, doing this in different voices, especially since they're doing this for 3 weeks in a row. They'll be memorizing it and saying it repeatedly. And this way, you can have a little bit more fun with it. Now, the other thing we did, and I saw this on another tutor's idea page, was that we made little horses. You can make all sorts of horses. You can go crazy with this and make it with like yarn hair or with out of the other thing I was thinking of, but they didn't have any at the dollar store, was pool noodles, and put some string on their hair. But this worked out just well for our class. And we basically just take our little horses. This is Spirit. And I gave everybody theirs, and we run around the class and we march and we sing the song. And they really have been enjoying that. So that's what we have been doing to practice this song. Now, moving on to states and capitals. States and capitals this week, we have Helena, Montana, Boise, Idaho, Olympia, Washington, Salem, Oregon, and Juneau, Alaska. And so now we do this in a couple of different ways. to start every week since the beginning. The kids have been doing Pilot Penelope. You can look her up on the CC Connected site, but basically it's a story and you kind of go through the different states. So we do that, and we kind of have to figure out at the end which state Pilot Penelope is hanging out in. The other thing that we did this week that the kids have been enjoying is as I introduce the states, I found this also on CC Connected, I show them a little picture to kind of help them remember the shape of the state. So for example, Juneau, Alaska looks like a dwarf grumpy. I'll ask you, do you know why the dwarf is so grumpy? And so that's kind of how I'll introduce the states, is showing the different shapes here so they can kind of remember. So for a whale, look for the whale tail. At the top of the map, whale washing is the next big Olympic sport. And so Olympia, Washington. So we do that. And then the next thing we do is we go to our maps, and on the maps, what we do is I already have them outlined, the states that we're doing today, and I have them in different colors. And then I give each kid a marker, and as we are introducing them, so as I'm saying Helena, Montana, we'll put an M for Montana inside where Montana is. And then for Idaho, we'll go to Idaho and put an I, Washington a W, Oregon an O, and A for Alaska. Again, I have younger kids, so this way when I'm like, all right, who can find Montana? We're looking for if Pilot Penelope is in Montana. Can anybody find the M for Montana? And so then they can find it. And then as we listen to the CC song, they will outline the entire map in a marker, and then we erase the outline of the whole map the whole map. And I'm talking about like the entire United States, just so they can practice what the actual drawing the shape is. And then we'll go and erase everything. So that's what we do for our states. And then we move on to timeline. And for timeline this week, what I started doing was I have our timeline cards, and I printed out these little unicorn pictures, and I put a circle that I can change out each week because I laminated them. And I put the first letter of whatever the card is. Again, just because not all my kiddos can read yet, but they know their letters. So who has the C for Charlemagne? Charlemagne's crowned Emperor of Europe. Who has the C? And so whoever has a C can raise their hand, and then we'll I start with just finding all the cards and then have them all line up. And then we put the cards, either they hold them or we put them on the whiteboard. And then I teach the parents and the kids the hand motions. And then we will sing the song through. And as we're singing the song through, I have them hold up their card as they hear it. And then I had them sit down, and I found these really cute little mini timeline cards. And again, not everybody can read, but they have the pictures, and we've already taken the big cards and put them in order. And so as we listen to the song again another 1 or 2 times, I have the kids start putting them in order so that we can just practice looking at them, seeing them, putting them in order, recognizing picture recognition. And it also gives the parents a couple more chances to practice the signs. And so for this week, we're doing Japan's Heian period, and we're doing a J for Japan. I'm sorry, not a J for Japan. We're going to do this and kind of go out like we're tracing the island. And for classes, we're going to do right hand going up like a class system a couple times. So it'll be Japan's Heian period. Charlemagne is a C. Crowned Emperor of Europe, we're going to make an E and go around our ear near our temple. For Alfred the Great of England, we're going to do an A for Alfred. We're going to do great, just like Alexander the Great, we're going to raise the roof. And England, we're going to shake each other's hands, just like this. Not each other's, but our own hands. For Eric the Red and Leif Erikson, Norse explorers. For Eric the Red, we're going to point to our lips and go down. So that's going to be red. And because Leif Erikson is his son, we're just going to do imaginary baby. And then for explorers, we're going to do what we did for Louisiana Purchase when they were exploring. We're going to just do a quick little exploring, and look like we're looking out. For Vladimir First of Kiev, we're going to do a V for Vladimir. For first, we're going to do a 1 and quickly turn it around. So first. And then for Kiev, we're going to do a K. For Byzantine Emperor Basil II, we're going to do a B for Byzantine. emperor, we're going to do an E here. We're just going to go down like a sash. For Basil, we're going to do a B. The second, we're going to do the same thing we did as the first. We're going to do 2 and whip it around. So second. For east-west schism of the church, we're going to do, we're going to put our palms down like this and separate them. So east-west schism of the church. And then for church, we're going to just do a C on top of our hand. So it'll be Japan's Hurrian period. Charlemagne, crowned emperor of Europe. Ooh, sorry. Forget that. So how it's going to go is Japan's Hurrian period. Charlemagne, crowned emperor of Europe. Alfred the Great of England. Eric the Red and Leif Erikson, Norse explorers. Vladimir the First of Kiev, Byzantine Emperor Basil II, East-West Schism of the Church, and that is our timeline. And that is what we did this week. For tin whistle, we had a lot of fun, and I'll make a separate video if you want to learn more about tin whistle. So until next week, have a great day. Bye.